everyone. Good Sunday evening. I saw the post from Tim and Hannah where they weren't going to be live, and then so I'm sorry that they're going through some times. I hope everything works out well for them, and keep Jack and Danae in your prayers. I guess Jack had to go to the hospital. I don't know any specifics, but that was kind of the thing there. Hey, good to see you. And so I went and bottled some honey, and when I came back in, I checked to see if anybody else was live, and there wasn't. So I thought you guys might want to hang out tonight. I got the link right up there if you want to come join. I'd love to have you. Today was really kind of crazy, guys. Oh, here's another thing. So if you have a question on something, if you would leave... I'm trying to do something here. If you will leave the question that you have, not in the live chat, but if you have a question about something I did or something like that, put it in the video chat on YouTube. If you put in the video chat, the only reason I say there is because so many things scroll through on the text chat over here that it's hard to catch all the questions. So anything I miss or anything that I need to go deeper in, I'm going to review those comments in order to address them in another live or something later on in the week to give us something to move forward with, So today was an exceptionally good day. I've got a few things that are happening that are kind of unusual for me. I mean, in 6 years, it hasn't happened. Hey, good to see you, Dean, Rick. Mike, Big Mike. The link is pinned, guys. Mike Tangway, good to see you. Jonathan Stevens, good to see you. So, yeah, I've been getting, first of all, thank you. If it's anybody in YouTube, somebody ordered honey out of Florida, some creamed honey. So I've got that pack to go out tomorrow. I don't know what, something crazy happened today. So I did some videos this morning. You guys saw how boo-hoo bad it was on the outside, as far as the way everything looked. And out of nowhere, the sun came out and boom, the sales just exploded today. And when I say exploded, keep in mind, this is a table in my front freaking yard. For the day, it was plus 500. It was over 500 for the day. So I've only been out 2 days this month. I'm about $860-ish. I've got a spreadsheet that I'm entering everything in because I'm trying to track my monthly sales and, try to make some goals and things like that. But I had some people that were, they asked me if I would like to be in a Hispanic market store. And I don't know the logistics of that, but it really kind of intrigued me because that person bought like $200. Well, yeah, it was about 200 because they bought a couple things. They bought lemon creamed honey and they bought chunk honey. And then they left. Well, he took some photos so he could send them to his people because he doesn't live like right here near me. And then 20 minutes later, he was back in my yard and bought $155 worth of honey to carry back to his community where he lives. So, yeah, it was a good day. Can't complain at all about that. So, what's everybody up to? Packing, getting ready to go to Nobby and move out and all that stuff is probably what everybody's getting ready to do. Try to get their stuff together and in line. Whoops, sorry. Didn't mean to bump the table. I actually sold out of 3-pounders today. I had to go and try to bottle some. And stupid Stupid move, right? I sold all of my 3-pounders off the table. I ended up bottling 2 more bottles, but it was coming out very, very, very slow. And I'm sitting there thinking it's cold honey. I turned the warmer on. When a couple of hours, I went back and the temperature on the tank, well, it looks good, so it should be good to go. And then sometimes my little pneumatic valve will stop up, right? Especially if it's cold honey, you got to kind of work it to get the honey out of there to get it to start flowing. Well, at any rate, I did all that. It took extremely long to fill those 2 bottles up. And I'm like, well, I'll just come back later. I'll fill some bottles up. I get out there and I'm like, man, it's been like 4 hours. This thing should be like perfect. I click the button, nothing. Click the button, nothing. I go clean out the valve with this poker thing I've got, and nothing, right? And then, Charlie, I grabbed the lid and opened the lid up and looked down. I was bone dry. My bottle. So I
like somebody needs to find some honey.
I had 2 more buckets. I bought 2 more buckets. They got here. I filled it up, and off they went. But it's just crazy. It's like
you're finally finding your niche. You finally figured it out.
Oh my gosh, it's so crazy that, I mean, honestly,
I heard something about you had in a Latino or a Spanish.
Yeah, the Spanish community is starting to know that I'm there.
And an event
and you know what else? They're buying my barbecue sauce too.
Oh yeah, now you need to get some of that Carolina Reefer barbecue sauce because they like all that stuff and jalapeno.
Well, the barbecue sauce that I make does have it's a little spicy because of the paprika and the chili powder that's in it, right? It's got a little bit, but not a lot. But they tasted and bought it, tasted and bought it, tasted and bought it. Yeah, I know. I saw somebody post today down in Georgia. They had $90 packages. Down near where you were going. I don't think it was the same person, but they didn't post a business name, right? It was just a person's name. And it was like, it'd be worth the 4-hour drive down there.
In Mount Vernon, Georgia?
No, it was, can't even think of the name now, but it's down by like Savannah, that area, right? But Claxton, a little bit more inland.
Claxton. Well, Savannah's on the
I think it was Claxton.
Claxton? Well, that's right down there where Wilhelm is.
So they had cheap nukes, and I'm sitting there. I've just got so much going through my mind as far as what to do, right? I would like to have a building.
If the Latino community finds out about you, because I've got a lot of folks that are like carpenters and roofers, people, the contractor guys hire all the guys. They find out about me, they're rolling right in because in their culture, honey is their main sugar source.
Charlie, I got him to taste my lemon creamed honey. He bought a jar. He had him, his wife, and 2 kids in the car. In 20 minutes, they had the whole jar was empty.
Mm-hmm.
They bought,
yep.
And then they bought 3 3-pounders, 6 1-pounders, and 4 creamed honeys to go with them. And he said, I've got your number. You'll be hearing from me, because I said, hey, evidently they're a tight-knit community, right? So they go to the same Hispanic stores.
Yeah.
And they're like, I can probably get you in the Hispanic store if you want to. Now, that is a very gray area for me, right? Because I don't have a commercial kitchen license. However,
you got to have that in your state.
If I sell it to a store and they resell it. Now, here's the kind of the gray area. And the gray area is it's not a big chain store. It's a Hispanic market store. So I don't know that they would be messed with a whole bunch. I don't know, you know. So
I had a friend of mine in Pennsylvania. They had it at a apple orchard, which happens to be right next door to them.
right,
And apple, peaches, all that kind of stuff, real fruit off the trees. And then here comes the bee police, finds out about them. Now they had a designated, you might say, honey room in their basement with some stainless,
but it wasn't inspected.
and they wanted to inspect it and all that stuff. And they had to fill out, 6 pages of bull crap on paper. And they got it, no problem at all. And the guy, and from what they told me, when they seen their environment, they want to know about animals in the house. And he said, yes, we have dogs. They're upstairs. They never come or allowed downstairs.
Right.
And they have this closed door room where their bottling tank is, where what they do as far as an uncapping tank is they have basically the countertop where the sink would be, and there's a hole there, small basin hole where the cappings just go right down in there, and there's a bucket underneath of it, or a tub that catches the cappings, and it's all stainless.
Right.
And they were quite impressed, as far as their cleanliness of their facility.
Well, Roy asked a question here. So the answer, do you want the legal answer? The legal answer is yes, I do have restrictions.
That's what I think.
That's food prep, right? So technically I would need legally to be inspected or have a commercial kitchen for that. However, everybody that's getting this is coming to my house to get it, right? So it's not something that I'm putting in stores or selling to restaurants or anything like that. And I do small batches, right? And in 7 years, knock on wood, nobody's ever showed up out here for anything, right? As far as that. And our community is pretty tight knit. If they're getting something from somebody, they're not going to spill the beans, right? So I mean, it would have to be somebody just randomly stop by to check it out, and then maybe I get my wrist slapped. You can't do that. Oh, I didn't know. Okay.
Well, I would do it this way. You have your new customer there. Say, look, customer, if you all want it for your community, well, then you can buy cases of product from me.
Well,
what you do with it afterwards, I don't care.
Right. Well, like this one person that was talking about the store, he told me, he was very upfront with me. He said, hey, if I'm going to resell this, is there any discount? You know how I feel about discounts, Charlie.
You're selling it. You're too cheap now anyway.
Well, I did give him a discount. I'm not normally the discount guy, but because he bought so many jars and bottles, I did knock some off the price for him. So, and this to some people is still good money, right? So I sold it for $8 a pound. Anything that was $10 was $8. I gave him 20%. And then my 3-pounders, I sold it for 25 instead of 30. So they drove from 45 minutes away to get here. So he burnt the gas to get here. It would save me from having to deliver it.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't deliver it. They can come and get it.
And once they sell it, it's on them, whatever they sell it for. But I'm starting to get even sales on my website from out of state for creamed honey, which is kind of not a lot. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm getting 20 orders, but like I just got an order for 2 jars. The other day I got an order for a jar, and it's just kind of everything's kind of hidden.
The bottom line of it is you just started 4 weeks ago.
Really being out there, not even
talking about being consistent. every
Really,
day.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. Well, it might be 3 weeks now.
3 weeks.
You know.
You got the pre-Christmas rush and all that.
Well, today was a $562 day.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at is the name's getting out there. You're building your clientele. You're building repeat business. You just now, it's just like with me. I started out with 3-pounders were not a hot seller. In the last year or so, they've really started kicking off.
Well, I found that too.
I used to have one in my office. I would keep one 3-pounder because I might sell one a month. Now I keep 2 in the office.
I sold a dozen of them today.
Yeah. And I keep 3 in the house. So 3, 4, I keep about 5 or 6 of them. And 4 or 5. Yeah. I keep a total of 6 of them that's available because I'll have that lady come in there. Not often. I need 4 of them, in one hit, or I'll have 2 ladies come in. I need 2. Next girl comes in. I need 2 and all that stuff. So you're building that clientele. And now I keep at least 10 1-pounders. And, you got your table stock. You try to keep that stock the same so you don't run out.
Right. But today it started off. I mean, it was bad weather. So the people that are coming are serious honey buyers, right? It's like the first 3 people were over $50 a piece. And then all of a sudden, bam, 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 bam. It was really
but you're there. It's consistency.
Mm-hmm.
And now the word's starting to get out. Now you just got into a new community without Facebook, and even better because it's all word of mouth. And taste this. I guarantee you that's going around. They're passing the bottle around. You got to taste this honey.
It's really kind of perplexing to Charlie, and because this is only you and I here, there's not 41 other people sitting here, and
yeah, but you got how many people on the? You got 41 people.
Actually, this year, and it's not unusual that I might have to buy a bucket or 2 late in the year, like right before harvest time. But it was December. I had to start buying honey. And now I'm 5 buckets of honey that I've already purchased.
Yeah.
And now I have no more full buckets of honey. So now guess what I got to do?
Well, did you get the other 2 in the mail yet?
Yeah, they came yesterday and I've had to pour them in today.
So now it's the best thing for you to do is get in your truck. And then, of course, you had to get some capital there. And you buy about 6 buckets at one time. Maybe you get it even cheaper if you buy more. I'm not sure.
But it's, bottles, jars, honey. And that's not even
this past year, I ran out of 2-pound bottles. And I buy them by the case, just like you do.
Yeah.
And I usually buy a case
now
each year, one case of one size each year. I had to buy a partial case or whatever they had, 100 bottles or whatever it was wanting that. It was 50 or 60 bottles from my bee club in order to get me through. And then when the time the bee club went to get bottles, then instead of me buying 1 case, I bought 2 cases of each. So I bought 6 cases of bottles.
Well, last year I made 1,250 pounds. I bought another 2 buckets. So
that's 120 pounds right there. So you have to have basically 14 or 1,500 pounds to get through because you're doing at least 100 pounds a month.
Point. I'm at 1,300 pounds right now.
Now, are you making a spreadsheet of all this and showing what you're doing?
Oh, yeah, I got a spreadsheet. Brad challenged me to see if I could get average $200 a day out there. And right now,
that is I have a spreadsheet for my expenses. and things that I sell other than honey. Let's say if I had some boxes or some queens or maybe some wax.
So,
And then I have another spreadsheet that's just honey sales.
right. And that's kind of what I've got on this one.
I can tell you how many 1-pounders I've sold, 2-pounders, 3-pounders, and all that.
I have everything broke down in my little credit card machine. So anybody that uses a credit card, it's got the flavor, how many creamed honeys they bought. It kind of tracks.
If you document that in a computer, then you got it right in front of you. You know how many lemons, how many peanut butters, how many straight, how many runny honey bottles in certain sizes, the runny honey.
It's
just part of being business. And that way,
and that's not the sales part is the easy part. The hard part is after the sales part.
Then you got to go home and make more.
Then I got to go bottle more and cream more, make sauce. Yeah. So the sauce.
Just like, what was it yesterday? Yesterday was what, Saturday?
Yeah, it rained yesterday. I couldn't get out.
I guess it was Friday. Friday was the help was not here. And yeah, by the end of the day, it was cold and whatever. We kind of I closed up a little earlier because it was cold. And what did I do? I bottled up 20-something pounds of honey, different size bottles to get ready, to get my stock shelves up to par before I leave and all.
This is a very good question. And I'll tell you how my taxes work. My taxes, now I worked 6 months this year, and I take 0 deductions when I work a job to pay in the maximum I can from that. Because I'm a sole proprietor and my business and me are one entity, anything I buy for my business also comes off my personal taxes. So, and then, obviously, credit cards leave electronic trail, right? But, and websites and stuff. However, cash, is kind of one of those things.
You need to stop talking right now.
It's one of those things that a lot of times I'll go buy honey or something with that cash or pay expenses, right? So it works out pretty well. I usually I don't know if it's a good thing, but thus far in my beekeeping and my work and all of that stuff, I've never owed taxes because everything that I've earned has either gone back to boxes, frames, bottles, honey, whatever, right? It just kind of keeps turning. I did, who was it? Clay asked a question. I did sell a few candles at Christmas time. I don't currently have any candles because whatever I didn't sell became Christmas gifts for other people, right? Oh, I've got these candles. I don't have to buy nothing. Hey, buddy, here's the candle for your Christmas gift. And so that's how that worked out. But
well, when it comes to, I know that there's these other folks on here that go to all these different shows and they have some beautiful candles and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And all that kind of stuff. Great stuff. But years ago, when I was talking to people in my area that would go to farmer markets and things like that, she said, well, we did candles that didn't sell. And I've heard that all the time. And because if it has to be in the right area for that kind of stuff. And, some people do the lip balm thing. And some people, like now you're doing creamed honey and runny honey. And like myself, I thought about, well, maybe I ought to do some creamed honey or whatever. Well, I don't. It's like the one person told me, he says, don't you sell every drop of honey that you can get in the bottle? Runny honey? I'm like, yeah, I can sell. I sell everything. I sell everything my bee produces.
Right.
So why spend the extra money to make creamed honey and all the extra work and everything else? So that's
for me, it's what it has been is making the creamed honey and the has allowed me to get more money for my honey that I produced. Right. That was where it started, that thought process. But again, I'm running into the same issue, right? Running out of.
Don't spread yourself too thin.
Well, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. I talk to Brad quite often.
The main thing is you have developed a market for cream flavored honey, and you have your market for your typical runny honey, and then you have another specialty thing is the barbecue sauce.
Well,
So that's something that I don't hear too much of that out here on the chat side.
well, both of my barbecue recipes use honey, right? Now the mustard-based one doesn't use as much honey.
It doesn't matter. It's a product that you make, and it's got honey in it.
So essentially,
but does it sell? Yes, it sells.
Oh yeah. Matter of fact, I found that if they bought the one flavor, I always got them to taste well, since you like sauce, here, try this sauce. Oh, give me one of those too. Okay, great. And then when the Hispanic guy came, I had another Hispanic guy came late, and I saw him at the table earlier. He bought a few things, and then after I pulled everything up, he showed back up and bought $50 more in cash, and he bought barbecue sauce and stuff.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at is don't, I'll get a phone call in the morning. I'm coming by your place. Can I buy that pound of wax? Yeah, meet me at the back door. Or if I got the mermaid girl calls me up or texts me and she says, I need 6 of those 3-pounders. I says, let me get them made up for you, and then I'll tell you when to come and get them.
Right. Or I'll ask them, what time are you coming? Right. But a lot of times,
give me a specific time. So because I'm leaving.
You get much of the, okay, I'm going to come by tomorrow and get that honey, and then they don't show up. Right.
Well, they know that I'm here from 8. I says, look, we're here from 8 to 4.
Yep.
I don't care what time you come, except for, you can even come at lunchtime or whatever, but it's like, I'm here from 8 to 4. That's what her name is. I don't know what the deal is. The mermaids.
Well, and you know what? I need to apologize because I think some people took my words the wrong way, not as they were intended, in other words. And because maybe I didn't say it clearly. I made a statement on a Tuesday night stream where I said something to the effect of, if you're only selling runny honey, you're missing out, or you're leaving money on the table. Hey, if that's what you want to do, perfect. Charlie's happy selling runny honey. That's great for him. Well, I'm talking about for me.
I'm looking at everybody's market is different.
Right. Well, you have a full-time job as well, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's a family business. So it's not like you're going to quit the family business to sell honey. Right now, honey is my income. That's it. Right. So
yeah, what I'm getting at is it's like Tom and Melissa and Brian and all those people that go to those farmer markets. They're going at least twice a weekend. All right. So yes, sale strategy, when you have ladder racks where you can get it up high so people look at their vision at their level. Instead of looking down, they look directly into it. And then you have multiple different things. You got your hot honey, your limp balm, your runny honey. You need more than one thing to bring it in. I had a lady over here. She over at Havre de Grace there at one of them festivals in the summertime. She says, the honey brings them in. I sell bath soap and lip balm.
That's my philosophy too.
And some kind of skincare stuff. She says, I sell I call it cosmetic products. Right. Is what is the number one seller for her. And number 2 is just honey. So It depends where you're selling it at. That's what it amounts to, I guess, is what I'm getting at.
Well, so like if anybody's noticed when I do my lives at the honey table, my runny honey is on one corner of the table. The rest of the table is value added products, right? Because I know they're coming there to get runny honey. That's why they came. The other stuff is there because they don't know they need that till they get there, right? It's just that way.
Right.
And the sauce is so cheap to make. Well, not entirely cheap. There's probably cheaper ways that I can do it, and I'm going to investigate that. But I mean, mustard-based barbecue sauce is seasonings, mustard, apple cider vinegar, and honey, and some brown sugar. Simple to make.
Well, don't know your recipe now.
No, I'm not. Well, first of all, it's mustard-based, and most people other than South Carolina don't like mustard-based barbecue sauce.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
It's definitely a local thing. And the only reason that even made it to my table is because I would try to get people to try my regular barbecue sauce, and they say I'm a mustard-based barbecue sauce person. So if they tried the barbecue sauce, they would buy it. But getting them to try it, now I can say, hey, guess what? I got them. Oh, there went Charlie. Clicked the wrong button. I can get them to try it. You have to be inspected to sell add-on products or value-added products. Did you click the wrong button, Charlie?
Yeah, Todd has asked me a question. I'm trying to find the answer for him.
Tell him to hop in the chat. You can give the answer to everybody. But
he's looking for Boris, and I think it's not under hive lifters.
Carl said, don't stop creating new products. I need to put my barbecue sauce up on my website to see if any of that would sell on the website. But it's the thing is, I keep saying this is a one pound of barbecue sauce. It's really not 1 pound of barbecue sauce, right? It's 1 pound of honey. We know honey's heavier. It's about 12 fluid ounces of barbecue sauce. So, it's definitely, to give you an idea, the most expensive jar of honey that I have on my table, the most expensive item you can buy at my table is a 3-pound bottle of honey. And that's $30. Most people, well, today was an exception, but a lot of people don't buy that big, right? They'll buy a pint, which is $15 for me, or a $10 1-pounder. But my sales are typically $30 to $50. So that means almost everybody is buying more than just runny honey, in different varieties and flavors or sauce or something like that, But it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool when you've made something.
There it is.
Yeah, I need to find ways, and it might be having to go to like a restaurant supply or something like that to get bulk ketchup and bulk honey, or not honey, bulk ketchup and bulk mustard in order to
Be center.
Big Mike. What's up, Big Mike?
Not much. How you guys doing?
Hey, Mike.
Doing good tonight. Can't complain. It's just I've got to thank Brad. I know he's in the chat, and you too, Mike, because you keep up with it pretty much. But Brad, more than anybody, really put a boot in my butt behind to get out there and be out there every day. And I think it started something like, well, are you going out to sell honey today? And I was like, well, it's a Monday. No, right? I usually just go out on the weekends. And he says, well, how do you know it won't sell on a Monday? I couldn't answer him. I didn't know, right? So at that point, I wish he would join us. At that point, he said, well, go out there and see, right? So I just started going out every day when it was nice and sitting out. And boy, has that really exploded the sales front on the honey. And, you know, I like to think I'm not unique in that. I know I live in a different area than a lot of people do, but this is not like a main road that I live on. So it's people come out here because they're looking for the product, you know. Restaurant Supply and Restaurant Depot. Okay, I'll check that out. I really don't like how YouTube has gone to the @ sign, right? Hey, Brian, good to see you. But to give you an idea, what did we say, Charlie? 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks, maybe, that I've really been hitting it?
Yeah, you made $300 a week, right?
No. I've been making more like...
Don't be bragging now.
I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you.
Just don't tell everybody.
Factual stuff.
I know that, but you might be telling somebody else. It might be revenuers around. You know how it is. Us hillbillies know that.
I consider
my family has a long history about that situation.
It's a I'm in that amount of time, I'm up in the vicinity of 5K in that amount of time. So
hey, Brian,
it's really a thing. I wish I had I mean, and it sounds like a lot of money, but you got to remember, have to order bottles, have to order jars, have to order ingredients,
overhead.
It's just a as Brad calls it, cash flow, right? It's just money coming in that you're recycling to go to something else, right? And that's kind of where we're at right now. But, you know, I can honestly say in that time, and I didn't count the little show in November and all that stuff, right? That was November. I'm just talking about December to now.
What was in November? A car show or something?
I had the little nativity show that I went out there and sat out at the tent thing. It's really been quite good. And
I remember that now.
I can't complain about it. It's just, it has taken my stress level to new heights. As far as not so much the sales, I enjoy interacting with the people.
Hey, Todd.
He came on to take his bow in real life. But we do that. I mean, Brad and I, we kind of do that to each other. We kind of kick each other in the behind when we need to get going.
Yeah, you know, he just did reverse Alex on you.
Alex. Well, you know, and speaking of Alex, Alex, if you're listening, I'm not talking bad, but there's no reason what I'm doing you couldn't do in your apartment complex. At least start, right? Let people know. I mean, it's taken a long time to get it to this point. Yes, I'm being more consistent, but as far as the people are now coming here and asking for flavored creamed honey, as compared to me having to say, have you ever heard of creamed honey? Would you like to try some? You know, it's changed. So
you're educating, like I say, you're developing that base of customers, and you've educated these, and these have told about, you know, hey, taste this, taste that. You don't not tasting it from you. They're tasting from your other customers, and those ones become your customers. So it's morphing.
You want to hear a funny story? I don't think I've told. I know Brad knows it, but last weekend or one day this week, it was recently. Mr. Sam stopped by, right? My mentor from down the road, and he's sitting there talking to me, and a customer comes in, a lady and her husband, and Sam starts talking to her husband, and they're conversing, and she says, I want some lemon honey. Great. And I get her 2 jars of lemon honey, and She says, have you heard of Sam? I'm not going to say his last name because I don't want to dox him, but it said, do you know Sam? I was like, yeah, he's right there at the end of the table, right? She says, well, we bought honey from him, right? So it was one of his customers that came and bought honey from me while he's standing there, right? Now, he didn't get bent out of shape, but it was just a funny thing. So it's that's becoming kind of prevalent, which goes back to the not wanting to run out of honey, right? Thing that
now you've been able to get your hives to produce more and more all the time.
Oh yeah, now I got infinite honey.
Yeah, you got one of them. What's it called? What's that?
Magical basswood tree.
No, he's got
magical basswood tree.
He's got a forest of basswood trees down there, magical. But he also has a what's that hive that's got the spigot on the back?
Flow hive.
Flow hive.
The flow. He's got a couple new flow hives. All he's doing is turning the juice on.
It's I'll tell you what. I mean, I feel like I've had an epiphany. I mean, big word. Give me a quarter. Everybody, throw a thumbs up for that word, epiphany.
Wow.
I don't even know what it means. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Brad, enlighten them what epiphany means.
I don't know. You must have like that. I guess it's spitting.
It's like when the light comes on, right? It's like, oh wow.
Oh, you had an idea.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
You had a revelation.
A revelation.
An awakening.
That's it. I mean,
I know that word, an awakening. Yeah.
And I was sitting in this chair this morning.
If you can't say epiphany, you just say awakening.
I've had an awakening.
That's
the
college guys. Those college guys know all them words.
Well, I was sitting here, and I swear to you, 3 times I looked out the window, and I was like, no, I'm not going out today. Look out the window. It's too crappy. I'm not going out today. And then the third time I looked, and I'm like, I got to go out today. You know?
He looked out at that table and he could see a bunch of money sitting on it.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving that money on the table.
Yeah. Well, you know,
I have the last 3 or 4 weeks has been that way. It's so cold. I'm like, I don't want to go out there, but you just get out there and you get with it.
Well, the honey's not going to sell itself, right? I mean, yes, I do get people that stop by and just that have been coming for years now and getting honey, but capturing the people that, oh, he's out there, let me swing in, that is extra money. And when I had my second live today, I think I was at $110. And I said, well, this might be it. Right. And that's fine.
But you say it's just $110. It was $110 more than what you had at 8 o'clock this morning.
Well, if you do the quick math,
it ain't bad.
Huh?
If you do the quick math, if you're out there 5 days and do $100, that's $500 a week.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what your middle of the road paycheck is, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I mean, to give you an idea.
Huh?
Nothing wrong with it.
When I was at
just like myself, because of the volunteer fire service, we have a pension plan. It ain't much, but free money is free money. And whether it's $100 or $500, it's all free and it's going in your bank account and it helps out in a pinch.
Brian, I need to figure out. You're somebody I really would like to talk to. For me, it's more about managing the logistics, right? Having enough inventory, but not too much inventory, because I want that to rotate.
That's where the spreadsheet comes in, Bob.
That's where
I can tell you how many 1 pound bottles I sold for 2025. I can tell you how many 2s and how many.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You got to go.
When I harvested honey last year. When I harvested honey last year, I'm already at the point of selling everything I sold last year, and I made more honey last year, right? And July is 7 months away.
Yeah. Well.
So if I just keep doing what I'm doing, I will have doubled my honey sales
Yeah.
here. So,
So I mean, let's face it. I mean, there's a lot of folks out there that, at our scale, they're going to have to buy honey. Whether I've bought honey over the years from my other club members and things like that. You have to kind of, in your situation where you're buying your honey and I'll say, they call it adulterating it with flavors.
adultery.
Altering.
Yeah, well, whatever that is.
Holy crap! Just under the bus with you, Bob.
I got a few big words, I know.
Yeah.
Hey, be
Adulterating.
very specific when you're talking to me.
But anyway, you take that honey, you keep your runny honey, your honey, and you take other honey and make your creamed honeys and all that stuff.
Well, next year that will be a lovely plan. However, that's no longer the situation.
Well, you just keep getting it where you getting it. Let's put it to you that way. I ain't going to say where you get it.
We're going to have to get you up to 100 hives, too.
Charlie's got a few big words, but sometimes he's quite circumlocucious about it.
Say what?
I totally missed that reading the chat box. Doggone it.
I said sometimes he's quite circumlocucious about it.
Circumlocucious sounds painful.
yeah, something like that.
He's probably had too much wash his sister sauce on his.
Wash your sister sauce.
Wa-
Cheers,
wa-
Big Mike. Cheers.
That looks like a nice tea with something else in it.
That's actually
That looks
That's
like Southern
actually
Comfort, what Mike's making.
straight orange crush.
Oh,
Yeah, mine isn't.
Mine isn't.
this looks like Southern Comfort. Or like the old
Vodka.
Stony Batter Punch.
I thought you were having a drink, so I figured I'd join you.
Well, I can.
All right, I'm in.
Yeah, Brian, I've already started doing that with the lemon, right? Instead of making 6 or 7, I'll make 17 to 20 of them at a
20 what?
jars.
Yeah, but are you going to go by jars, or are you going to go by a gallon of it, or how many gallons that make 17 or 20 jars?
My creamer will hold 350 pounds of.
Yeah, but that's what Brian's doing. He's making a batch, or a 350-pound batch of regular straight cream, and then he puts it in individual buckets and
That's what
blends
Bob does.
whatever flavor it is.
Well, I just mix my flavors smaller, right, in the mixer.
Yeah, I think you got a little small mixer or something like that. I mean,
It's a
you need so much on your table out front. You need so much on your shelf or in the refrigerator in the house.
it's not kind of where the pinch point is on this is because I'm at the table, I can't cream honey, right?
Sure, you got it's automatic.
Well, yeah, it's creaming. That's creaming, but it's not getting flavored by itself.
Well, then you do that at nighttime.
That's what the night shift does, Bob.
That's what
Right.
the night shift does.
That's it. That's exactly
That's
right.
why you don't see Brian on here that much in the live part. Guess what? He's behind the scenes listening to us and working.
Well, see, when I did that, I took 3 months off. I got emailed every single week. Going live tonight, going live tonight, going live tonight. Victim of my own circumstance here, I guess. But I enjoy doing this. It's just
So are you staying out there 8 hours a day? You got such
I am. I get out there and I stay out there
What time of day in the morning? What time do you get out there?
usually about 8 or 9. I'm out loading up the truck.
All right.
Loading up the
I
table.
guess what I'm getting at is when you're out there at the table, do you sell at 8 o'clock, or do most people come in at 9 or 10? It's just like Saturday.
If my truck is out there, I don't give a damn what time it is.
No, you're not.
They're
You're not
coming,
comprehending
here's the
what I'm
honey.
getting at. That's just like stores. Stores don't open till 9 or 10 o'clock in town.
Right.
Because they're open till 8 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock, whatever. And just
I'm
like
fine,
Saturdays
dude.
here, I can set
You're gonna
my
have to get the
watch.
some LED
Here they
lighting,
come
too.
in, 3 of them all at one time. I said, well, I told the guy this Saturday. I said, well, it must be 11 o'clock. He looked at his watch. He says, yeah, how did you know? I said, 3 customers. Because they get out of bed, got to get breakfast. I got my coffee now. Now let's go to the sawmill.
What if they need honey?
And it's
for their
usually
toast?
most of the time, it used to be in the summertime, you'll say 10 o'clock. You know,
Well, right now,
get yourself a set hours.
most of my sales do start between 10 and 11.
All right. So then
And how do I know that, Brad? Square.
That's right. Square reports.
So,
Square.
so there you are. So you need to be out. Your table needs to be set up and out there. Let's say every day at 10 o'clock, or let's say 9:30 at the earliest. And then in the meantime, you can get up at 4 in the morning and you can do all this mixing and everything else.
Yeah. You hold your breath on that one.
You
If
might
I
be able
were
to do it at 11 o'clock at night.
I haven't gone to sleep from the
Well,
night before.
I mean, there's been times where I'm bottling honey after the darn talk show because I'm empty. I'm getting too low. You know, or I did it the night before, and the next day, you know, I said, well, I'm down 1 or 2 3-pounders and a bunch of other little stuff, and I fill them things up, so I got at least 6
This is how
pounds.
my workflow goes.
And then the next day is 4 pounds out the door. Like, man, I'm glad I sure did get that at 10 o'clock at night and get it done.
This is how my workflow goes. I go sit at the table. When I'm done and I pull all my stuff back around back, before I come in the house, I stop in the honey house and fill bottles of what I sold that day and anything that I'm low on, like, because I'm constantly filling the tray with my samples that go to the
What
table.
time did you quit at 5 o'clock? Because it's dark.
Usually 4:15.
Yeah, that's about
Area.
about 4:30. All right, let's say 4 o'clock.
And then I bottle up. So now we're 5 o'clock, right? It's dinner time. My
All
wife's
right,
home.
then go in and eat, and then after an hour's worth of eating, then you go back out to the honey house, and then you work.
Then I go to the kitchen and make sauce. Then I got to jar the sauce. Then I got to clean the pans. Then last night I made more sauce. Do what?
Just to let the sauce cool off, Bob, remember.
Oh, yeah. I found that out the hard way yesterday. I was like, why is my sauce growing? Why is it starting to come out of the top of the bottles? And then about 5 seconds later, I was like, you dumbass. This is not coming out the top. The bottle's shrinking from the temperature.
So starting to melt.
It's starting to shrink. So I emptied it out, let it cool down. And, you know, I've actually...
So how often do you have to make a bottle, make a pan full of barbecue sauce, I guess it is?
Since...
Every couple of days, it seems.
Yeah, since...
Is it every day or every other day?
Like in the...
Probably 3 days, 4 days.
What's it been, 3 weeks, Brad, that I've been doing this every day? 2 weeks before Christmas? 3?
Yeah.
This is like going on a month, I guess.
You've been making sauce every 3 or 4 days.
It's been kind of crazy. I've been through.
So what you need, instead of having to do it every 3 or 4 days, you take the size that you're making right now that you do every 3 to 4 days, and you double it.
Well, I've got this huge pot
Yeah, we'll get
that I'm
another.
making it in. And the problem with sauce is you have to constantly stir it so it doesn't burn to the pan, right? You don't want the burn part of it. But
Just make 2 batches.
it's
Make a batch and bring it over here and set it off the burner after you get it cooked or whatever you have to do to it. And I guess you still have to stir it a little bit. Then you get yourself 2 stir sticks. You get one for the one that you're making and one that's cooling down, and you stir it ever so often. Over here, you stir that ever so often.
it has been quite the adventure. It's fun. Don't get me wrong. I am beyond excited about it.
It's just like with me and my bottling tank. You know, if some people say, well, they unplug it and plug it. I said, mine's plugged up 24/7.
All right, now let's put this into the picture.
And I have a big one, so I don't have to.
It's almost beekeeping season.
For you.
Yeah, so I won't be able to sit out at the table all day long if I got to go tend to my bees and make splits and do all that stuff.
So when's your sales coming in? You got sales in the morning? You got sales in the afternoon? Is it sales in the middle of the day?
I've been getting sales pretty much all day long. They may not be back to back to back to back, right? But if I go out there and piss off a hive, and I got people that randomly just pull up and stop.
Your
Yeah, but
bees
what about
chasing all the way to the table.
Yep. So it's definitely interesting, but yeah, that's the main thing is just figuring a flow out, right? And you never know from day to day.
Well, then you're going to have to develop
Give you
out.
an idea. I made peach creamed honey in my first batches of creamed honey that I did 2 years ago because it was before I went to Brad's place. Very rarely would I sell a peach. All of a sudden, peach. Everybody's buying peach for whatever reason. It's just
So it's like
and then-
Brian said there, you got to develop regular hours. So what you're going to do is you're going to work Wednesday through Sunday at the table, and Mondays and Tuesdays is your hive days.
That's good
Yeah.
unless it rains Monday and Tuesday.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, well, it could be
That's the
Saturday
thing
and
with
Sunday.
bees,
Like
you don't. you
I
can't
work
set
Monday
your hours.
Monday through Saturday and a half.
So I've had several people, including Clay and Brad, that both said I should get a pull behind trailer that has a side, maybe the side door on it, that you could that way rain doesn't affect that, other than the customer stopping, which they probably wouldn't anyway. But then again, I thought they weren't coming today, and boy did they blow me up. I mean, to the point to where I'm trying to go bottle cold honey because they bought all the 3-pounders out. And while I sold this one, the next person said, I want a big jar. Okay, give me a few minutes. And I go and get it and come back. And then the next lady's like, oh, I'm here for a big jar. Okay, give me a few minutes. And I got to go and do it again because the honey was cold. I
Just
couldn't
set
bottle
the tank on the table and just fill it.
Well,
to
and
the
then,
water.
like I told him, like a dumbass, I'm sitting there thinking, man, why isn't this honey coming out? It's can't be cold. The thing's saying it's 30 degrees in there. It's supposed to be perfect. And then I go and I get this metal skewer that I've got, and I stick it up in the valve to try to make sure there's nothing blocking it, right? Like some honey clumped up in there.
There's
And
air blocking it.
yeah, it was air for sure. There was nothing in that tank. So,
Well, that's the first thing you don't do is run out of honey in your thing because all that trash settles to the top. You don't want all that chunky or gooey crap out there.
yeah, it's well, see, Carl, I did that with the hot honey. Last time I made hot honey, I did 60 jars of hot honey. And it sells pretty good. But the problem is, even sitting in my kitchen, I have to then take the bottles from the box because they've become crystallized, put them in the warmer. Then when I go out to the table, I got to go to the warmer and pull it out after a couple of days. So that it's just constant
Well,
thing.
got
So there's a
yourself-
lot of
you got a new job. That's your new job.
so if things get
You'll figure all that out. You'll figure all that out.
If it keeps going like the way it's going, I could envision my wife not going to the crappy Walmart job because I made as much today as what typically actually is a little bit less than what she would put in the bank in 2 weeks from Walmart.
So
No,
does
you got expenses though.
Yes, I do have,
Forget.
but that's one day, right?
what
So
about,
you,
does she have insurance, health insurance? Or
yes, but she does have insurance there.
Well,
so
that's a huge amount of money right there. I
Right.
mean, I had to go through a bunch of, I'm switching.
oh,
over.
the cream honeys, yeah. So that's, and I was even that Hispanic store was he was interested in getting the creamed honeys in the store. So yeah, it's
Get busy.
it's getting real quick. So
That's what you want.
yeah, it's good right now. Things are good until they're not good, right? We'll just keep it going. Keep it going.
You say this other place it's got bottles, but not the kind you like.
Yeah, it's I don't know if they sell bottles just by themselves, right? I could have them white label all the honey. I could buy
Yeah,
it.
but what I'm getting at is, can you get cases of bottles where it's cheaper instead of you paying for shipping and all that stuff?
No, I mean, but if it gets too good, I'll just have to come up and see Charlie and say, Charlie, it's Saturday. Oh, they're closed on Saturday, probably Gamber.
I guess, yeah.
Be like, we need to go up there.
Well, you got a place for honey.
Yep.
You're just going to have to. The main thing if you have enough capital, is fill that damn that bottling tank up. I don't know how many gallons it holds. 10, 20 gallons.
18-gallon tank.
18 gallons.
And then my creamer holds 150 kilograms, which is what, Brad?
150 kilograms.
Yep.
330 pounds.
There you go.
It holds as much as my bottling tank. 25 gallons.
So, and the good thing is, with the sauces, I'm using basically melter honey, right? The stuff that's been in the warmer too long and got dark. That's what's going in the sauce. I'm not using fresh.
Probably helps the flavor of the sauce. It probably really works for it. In a barbecue sauce.
And now I'm starting to see people actually posting that they came and bought honey from me on their social media, which is kind of pushing it out too, right? So
nice.
It's
like look at Carl there. He's got 8 different flavors. He's got five cases of each, and he doesn't have a show for a month because he does a lot of shows. That's where he sells his stuff at. Now, Carl has that dishwashing business, so he visits lots of restaurants.
Right.
He's probably wholesaling a lot of that type of stuff.
It's definitely so, and that's the thing. That's the biggest issue I have is with the supplies, right? Getting the supplies is because it all has to be ordered. There's nobody here to get it like that. If I lived in Lancaster, PA, well, I could just run over and pick it up, right? It's costing me 30% more for bottles because, like, if I order 2 cases, the shipping is more than a case costs. So
you go up there and you get like what I did. Like this year, I ran out of bottles in that one thing. This year, I made sure I got 2 cases of each. Now, this is the first year that I did all that.
I might even have to order another case of lids here soon, Charlie.
Yeah.
And they come 1,700.
That's 1,700 lids.
So
I just looked at my lid case, and I'll be able to get through. When the club goes up again, I'll order a case of lids just to have them. And it's just like here I was bottling honey here, getting ready for Nobby, and I'm getting low on my. I had ordered 2 rolls of labels, 1s and 2s, and 1 3, and I need to go ahead and order a couple more rolls of labels of 1s and 2s. 1s are just about gone. 2s, I've got a good ways to go, but
that's the other thing. I had to print labels last night, right, to make sure I had labels. So it's just a constant thing.
yeah.
But some of that stuff could be streamlined if sales keep going good. Then maybe I don't print my own labels, right? Maybe I just say I need this many labels from the company and get them. So some of that stuff can be cut out.
Maybe Robert could help you figure that out.
What's that?
Maybe Robert could help you figure that out.
Who?
Your label problems.
Let me get a womp womp womp.
Couldn't hear me?
Huh?
Mike's poking a bear.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like I have the little dummy labels, for crystallization and don't feed it to the kids and all that stuff. And Better Be, there's the one I always get it from Better Be, and they had a sale on those 500 labels on a roll. Well, I bought 10 rolls, at that time. And you go through it relatively quick, because every bottle I sell has to have one.
Todd, who are you asking about that question? I'm a sole proprietorship. I don't have an LLC or an S corp.
Todd, Bob doesn't have a business. It ain't set up as a.
I do have a retail license and all of that, and I do have a tax number for Walker Bee Ranch. But as far as my sales and everything, I run it as a sole proprietorship. So all of my expenses and all of my income tax that I paid through my job and all that is just under my Social Security number. Let's see. Yeah, that's a lot of clubs do that. No, I'm not missing out on business deductions. My sister owns a tax business. I count everything gets counted. My truck mileage, a portion, this office space, this percentage of my internet, all of that gets counted. Any computer stuff I buy, printers, ink, paper, labels, bee equipment, all that gets counted in. And knock on wood, I've been lucky and haven't owed anything.
Yeah, but with all that said, you did have an income coming in. So the government got their
Yep.
They got their money. But if you got no income coming in, but you're still living, they're going to come and say, well, wait a minute, how can you live without any income coming in?
Wife's check. My VA disability check of $180.
As long as you can show them that
You got a $5 raise at first of the year. But yeah, so I mean, my big thing is, like I said, it's not the sales. That's fun. Nothing bugs me with any of that. It's just after being out there all day and then coming in and work's not done, right? You still got to keep going.
Yeah.
Makes for long days.
Yes, sir.
So, but
And
it's
work
fun.
Long days. Is
staring
your
at you.
shop ready now, Brad?
Even a day off, your work is always staring at you. Yeah, I think I can start working tomorrow morning.
All
Fantastic.
these are business expenses.
You hit your goal.
Yeah, actually, pretty much yesterday.
Yeah, you
I
said
didn't-
you were hoping to have it ready for Monday.
Yeah. I just today I didn't really work a lot in the shop. I just went out, got some lumber from the shed to work on tomorrow. So I'm going to jump into some frame assembly jigs tomorrow.
But that's I see that in my cousin. He is a plumber, but he doesn't do house plumbing anymore. He does like outside excavation work and digging water lines and things like that. But like you say, Brad, on Sunday, what do I see him out there? He's working, he's getting something greased up, ready for Monday morning. Everything's
Yep.
getting ready for Monday morning to go, even though it's just him, maybe one other guy. And that's it. He's always doing something like that. But Bob, you might want to schedule yourself to where you either take a Sunday off, or if Sunday's a hot day for sales, and keep that up. And Monday's a little slow, and take a Monday off, and that's the day that you're going to sit in the house and you're going to do all this bottling and try to get your stock built up for the rest of the week.
Right now, I'm kind of working construction worker stuff. Weather's bad, not out in the yard, right?
Yeah.
And
That's
if the
Good
weather's
day for
okay,
bottling.
yeah. Well, that's what I tried to do, right? But because
Doesn't
I'm
always work out.
waiting on
Yeah.
bottles and honey to come in, and then it came yesterday, right? So I got bottles, I got the sauce up and bottle honey, and stupid me thinking a dozen or 10 3-pounders would be good for one day of sales. That's
Yeah, what were you thinking?
what was I thinking? 30 pounds would be perfect, right? No, it wasn't enough.
So you sold how many today in 3-pounders?
Dozen.
Wow.
So if you did that many in one day, and you're doing that close to that many in a week, or on a weekly basis, I'll say, what are you averaging?
What
I'm
as
good.
far
3 pounders. All right. Are you selling at least 1 or 2 of them a day?
oh yeah.
So you need about 20 or 25 sitting on the shelf.
Yeah. So the thing is that I'm trying to leverage the money coming in to the money going out, right? I don't want to be flat broke, right? Spending everything. So.
Yeah, I get that, but what I don't know, you got to have that capital there to
So
keep the inventory up.
I got 3 buckets of honey on December. No, wait, am I lying? I think I'm lying to you. Hold on. Let me see when the first. Trying to see when the first day I got honey. Yeah, December 30th? No, December 18th. I went and got 3 buckets of honey. Now I still had some of my own. And since then I got 2 more buckets. So I've gotten 5 buckets of honey. That's 300 pounds since the 18th of December.
All right, so where are you at now?
Less than 2 buckets because I just filled. Probably got about 5, maybe 7 gallons, 7 gallons in the tank.
So you got 60 pounds, 60, 70. You got 80 pounds of honey in a bucket somewhere instead of in a jar or in your bottle.
No, it's in my bottling tank right now. I have no extra.
No, you have no buckets sitting on the floor. You got it in your bottling tank. You got about 70 pounds in your bottling tank. 70, 80 pounds.
Yep.
Okay. So you've sold that much product, or you have so much on the shelf or in inventory and whatever thing.
Yeah.
So,
You're gonna have to order another bucket or 2.
so that's where I'm saying right now. You have a spreadsheet of all that. Can you tell me what your profit and what your inventory cost have been, your input cost, and what your
Oh my God, we're going down that road. No. So
We've been through that.
if you're going to run a business,
I
this
can
is
see
how you want.
exactly what the honey costs now. The input costs are. It's the bottle and the honey, right? That's the input cost on the honey that I've been.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. I spend at least on average $4,000 a year on input.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is all of the honey that I produced has been sold.
I don't care about that.
Right. The honey I'm buying, I have 0 input costs on that.
Okay, it's fine. That
So
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter on the books. Doesn't matter where the honey come from. What matters is that you got cost in the lid, the label, the bottle,
right.
and you got your cost of whatever you bought in honey.
It cost me right at $4 a pound right now.
Okay. So then you got all this gross income, and then you got X amount of dollars. Let's say you spent $1,000 on input cost, and you've grossed sales, let's say $3,000. So you've made a net profit of $2,000,
Right.
hypothetically.
Yeah.
So the honey, the input costs have been paid for. So you got $2,000. Now you got to take so much of that and go back and get more.
Right.
Buckets
Which is
of
what
honey.
I did. That's how I got 2 more buckets of honey, right?
Been there, right, Bob?
But
Yeah.
what I'm getting at is
Been there.
you can't definitively tell yourself how much profit, how much net profit you've made. Because you've been plowing your money back into the business to buy more product to be able to sell it.
So it's a little bit clearer now. And I say that because I know what it cost me to get the honey, right? And I know how much the bottle, lid, and label cost me.
Yeah,
That's that.
and the cap.
Like empty.
However, the stuff that I make myself, as far as treating and all that stuff, it's a little bit cloudier, right? So you're right. There's a lot of stuff that I haven't been tracking that I'm working on starting to track. So
You have to back. Right now is the perfect time. It's the first of the year. And that was one thing I finally figured out. I tried to do what you were doing. That here's my honey season, and my year starts at January or July 4th or whatever, because that's when the batch of honey comes in. And then I buy all the stuff. It doesn't work that well. The best way to do it is by January 1 till December 31st. You sell X amount of honey. You spent so much money in expenses. You deduct the 2, and here's what you made for the year.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't, whether you bought honey or whether you made honey, you make more profit on the honey. Well, depending on how you look at it, it didn't cost you to buy the honey, but there is expenses in making that honey, i.e. miticides, whatever you're doing, the boxes, the frames, all that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, that's, you and I are a lot alike on that one, Brian. All I know is it doesn't cost me $10 a pound to make it. Right. So I kind of work on the 100% margin, right? If it costs me $5, I'm selling it for $10, right? That type of thing.
Now, Brian says you guys shocked on how little he, what is it? Dissect my numbers.
Yeah. He doesn't analyze his numbers that much. He says he's not a spreadsheet guy.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is, because he sits down there on every place he sells honey on the weekends, and he knows exactly how much money he brought in from these places. And then the next year he says, well, we're cutting this one out, this one out, and this one out. And we need to go over here and get this high-end sales area so I can make, instead of making $500, I want to make $2,000 on that Saturday afternoon.
Maybe I make it sound a little, Brad definitely has his kind of mapped out exactly to the pound on how much it costs him. I don't have that, but I would say Brad is an anomaly in the States. I doubt many people could sit down and say, well, I bought Apivar and oxalic acid and bee feed and sugar and all of this, and this is how much honey I made this year. You don't even know them goddamn numbers till the end of the year because you're feeding them in the winter after you already harvested the honey. So how much of that feed was left over in the spring? So you can't really say that definitively when the honey came through that it cost you X number of dollars per pound. So for somebody to sit here and say, well, this is how much the cost of goods of everything I created was, there's a margin of error there. Is all I'm saying.
There's a difference between data and projections, and when your first year, you're right. You don't know until the end of the year, and maybe the end of your year is end of October. Let's say the 1st of November is the start of the new year, because pretty much all of my expenses are done by then. All of my inputs are done by then, because if I'm going to do any treating or feeding, I'm done that. At least I'm done buying product by the end of October. So I could easily say that, but there's really no difference between that and the 1st of January. So you could just use January, but you won't know that until, it can take you a whole year to sell that honey. So you don't really know that very far in advance. But once you do this for a year or 2 or 3 or 4, then you know your expenses, they average out, you kind of know what your cost of production is, and then you can project that. And there's always going to be anomalies, right? You have to do an extra mite treatment or something like that.
Now, like Brian, I do exactly what he says. But now what you're talking about, Bob, beekeeping's farming.
Oh, I agree. So this is what I'm saying. Like, I've never seen this bucket list bees guy before. I don't know who he is. Never met him. Nice to meet you. You're saying I need a accounting 101 class. Well, here's the deal, buddy. I'm in a major expansion of honey sales. Right? This is untapped territory. I don't know how much I'm going to sell. I don't know how much I'm going to buy. I know how much my bottles cost me. I know how much my labels cost me. And I know how much my honey cost me. And that's the only cost of goods that I sell.
Yeah,
if I tell, you know what I mean? So I don't understand what he's talking about.
yeah, but what I'm
So-
getting at is just like what Brian says there. We're not worried about the unit cost.
Right.
I'm worrying about gross input cost, how much it all added up. All right, I can tell you right now. I sat down here and I looked at my year-end input costs, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to buy this and this and this. I'm going to spend $600 for sugar. That's about the average of what I spend every year.
Right.
So many bags or pounds of sugar. I'm going to spend on average, let's say $300 on mite treatments. I'm going to spend I'm going to probably buy at least a case of each size
But
bottle.
that's your cost of production. That's your cost of production. And if your cost of goods sold doesn't cover your cost of production, you're into a negative.
Sure. Well,
cash
that's
flow.
where I'm getting at. I have my
Right.
input costs. I know I'm going to spend. I'm spitballing it around $4,000. What I'll probably put in this year.
That's projections, yes. And
Right.
then
And
I
I
think it was
know
Clay brought up, or buy some eye candy, some shiny things. Well, that's capital cost. So that's not cost of production. So capital cost has to be recovered from cost of production plus cost of goods sold, jars, labels, stuff like that. And then the profit on all of that then has to cover capital cost, right?
Right.
So you have all your cost of production, maybe cost you, I don't know, I'm just going to throw out a number here, easy math, dollar a pound, right? Maybe your cost of production is $1 a pound. It's probably more than that, but that's an easy math number. So then if your cost of goods sold is another dollar, now if you sell a product for $5, now you have to take $1 cost of goods sold off and $1 cost of production off. So now
Right.
you're looking at $3. So at $3, that product contributes $3 to capital costs and operating expenses. Insurance on the farm, rent, the light bill, all that kind of stuff. Plus then capital costs. Capital costs are a little different because you can amortize those over years and years, but that's a different level discussion on that. So yeah, it's all going to come out, and you need to know your margins on products. If you don't know your margins on products, you can dig yourself a hole in a big hurry.
Right. Luckily, I feel like I've got good margins on my products.
You do, but don't rest on that. Like don't get complacent with that.
Right.
Even though they're good, know what they are.
I mean, like for this past year, I raised it $2 a bottle, $2 a pound. It really did help out a lot.
So
And
what's your cost of goods sold?
per unit, I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Why not?
Because
Doesn't
I have
matter.
two columns. I have what I paid out and what I got in. And
All right, here comes the chickens are coming home to roost. Here it comes.
Doesn't matter because you're talking
I
about.
can tell you how much money I made and how much money profit.
Yes, you can. However, you're talking about past numbers. If you don't know your margin, you'll get 6 months to a year into that before you realize, holy crap, I've spent more money than I brought in. If you know your margins, you know exactly every time you make a sale,
after next week,
how much of that sale goes to running your business.
I never thought being broke.
And you never end up in a negative cash flow situation.
I never thought I would be saying this, but being broke has helped me out because I haven't been able to buy the shiny stuff, right? I only can buy the necessity stuff.
You don't need any stuff.
I don't. I actually walked through my yard the other day with, I think Brad was on the call with me. I'm like, look, I got all this stuff. I don't need to buy crap as far as
you got all the stainless that you need as far as I know. And I think you got all the boxes you need for now, unless it rots out. I mean, I think every time I turn around, I'm not going to buy boxes. I don't think I'm going to buy boxes this coming year, but sometimes I wind up buying 20 more new boxes.
What is buying boxes? Oh, I make my own. Never mind.
Oh, come on.
I ain't got time for all that. My time is more valuable.
Cost me $5.15 a box to build them.
So
Is that what it is?
I mean,
does that include
I'm not
finish?
buying them.
Does that include, like, I don't know how you finish? Do you paint or dip or what?
Oh, I paint.
That includes the paint?
Well, it doesn't include them when you buy them.
That's what I'm asking you.
No,
It
no,
does when I buy them.
just to make a box.
It does when I buy them. So that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I usually go to the
Right.
the woman that
Do you
rents one of my
know?
apartments
So
runs the
even when
paint
you do
store.
that, do you know how much that paint's costing you per box?
No.
I mean, I'm not
Oh,
asking
because
you to make a
like
guess right
when I
now.
go to
I'm
Sherman
asking you if
Williams,
you've calculated that into
it's
what
not
that
more
box
than
is costing.
$10 a gallon usually.
Right.
So my
We're
primer
saying
does cost me.
Asher when
So what
we
do you paint? 20, 25 boxes on a gallon or something?
Oh no, probably more than that. It's the primer that you sucks it up. Because
Yeah,
I use a
primer
good
does.
oil-based primer.
Yeah.
well,
So you
so
could probably a couple bucks, eh? You could probably
Yeah,
paint them for a
yeah,
couple
probably a
bucks.
couple bucks.
Yeah. So you're
but
well under 10 bucks still per box.
Yeah,
Now, is that lumber? Or are you doing nails and glue and all that?
it's just staples and they're hanging around the shop. I have
Yeah.
gallons and gallons of everything. It's just I just take it.
I get that.
They've been paid by other jobs.
Yeah. Oh, I get that. Oh, you can still factor it in. It still costs,
Oh, I do. I
it's
mean,
value.
but my wood is just I think it's $5.15 a
So your
box.
box is running you well under $10.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Like finished, painted,
yeah,
plus your labor, like free labor though,
yeah.
that's not
Well,
counting labor.
and well, it's not free because I pay rent, but
But
I'm in
but
there doing other things.
this is, cost of goods sold kind of thing. This isn't labor.
Yeah.
well
But
the
you guys are talking. What was it? 2 years ago, I bought 400 pounds of sugar to feed up for winter, and I harvested 2,800 pounds of honey. The next year, I had 20 more production colonies. I bought 4,800 pounds of sugar, and I got 700 pounds of honey. You
Uh,
don't know,
no, you don't. See, you're
and that
you're
it doesn't matter because you would have bought the stuff you needed prior to that, so you go right into the hole. But
your sugar cost in that way is far more variable than mine.
yeah,
I can put my sugar cost right down to a few dollars every year.
yeah, but I don't normally feed my bees. Mine was caused by droughts. And when you have a drought and you're feeding every colony, well, you should be having honey supers on. That makes a big difference.
well, as far as the cost of goods sold and all of that stuff, yeah, that's all great information, right? I know I'm profiting at what I am.
Yeah.
I'm making more money with honey than I'm spending to bottle said honey, right?
I'm guessing you're at about 50%.
Yeah, it's
Just from what you tell me.
that's a pretty
Now that you're having to buy the honey.
yeah. So
And you really should figure 50% anyways, even if you're making the honey, because then you're actually making a little more.
yeah, so I mean, for me right now, where the expenses are, it's more of a growth thing, right? I'm trying to ration against what I have coming in, right? I'm not going to buy honey if I'm not selling honey, right? So I kind of try to have a flow of income, cash flow, if you will, Brad's words there, to keep it turning.
Cash flow is important.
Yep. And right now it's not scary to me. That doesn't scare me at all. My problem is just making sure I have the products to sell because they're selling, right? It's just
Comment on cash flow. That's farming, man. Like a lot of farms, a lot of big farms, it'll cost you $1 million of expenses to make $50,000 or $100,000 of income.
right.
So it's all the whole game in that regard is cash flow and knowing those margins. Because if it's costing you $1 million to make 100,000, you could squeeze out that margin so easily and not see it, right?
Well,
Just one thing goes up in price or something, and you don't account for it.
And what you're
right.
doing, Bob, is you're starting from zero. And where I was doing it, I had a full-time job. You know, it would be so I had the income to back whatever I wanted to do.
Right.
Just
And that's
because
how I
my
started off, right? I started off that same way.
but
And
then
things
we
change.
you know we've been around. We know what's happened. So now you kind of went into
Well,
it, but you don't have that backup that you
yeah,
would have had if you were doing this when you had your other job. You know,
correct.
you could have taken a couple checks, bought, you know, 10, 12 buckets of honey,
So
had
it's
them
not
sitting there.
I'm not in a bad situation.
No.
I mean, as far as the honey sales, the thing is, I don't know what's exciting about it. I don't know what that plateau is, right? I don't feel like I've maxed that out because every day I'm like, it's going to be a bad day. $200, $400, $500, $600 some
So
days.
now you've got all your buckets in the machinery. Now you have to get more buckets
Yes.
because a week from now you're going to be in the same spot.
Yep. And that's
You
it's
know,
a good,
you'll
good problem.
be in a couple of weeks or a month. Maybe you'll be to the point where you'll have 2 or 3 buckets sitting there waiting to go in.
Well, that
And
was
then when you get down to that one bucket, you can order the 2 or 3 more.
the goal.
Well, you're doing really well. I didn't expect
Yeah.
it to be quite as good after the first of the year for a while.
It'll be
Well,
interesting to go, the next couple of weeks. I mean, we're still getting data here, right? So over the next couple of weeks, boy, it'll be really interesting to see what happens.
and then rain days. I mean, that's kind of the thing. I don't have a building that they can drive up to and come inside and buy it.
Yeah, you got a
Yet.
house. Don't you have a house?
Yet.
Yeah, but they're not coming to my house. I don't know, not coming in. But
See, your advantage now is if I was sitting out at the end of my driveway for 8 hours, I'd be stiff as a board, frozen solid.
well, I mean, it's been cool here the last couple days, and
Yeah. But you're not waking up every morning with a little bit of snow on the walkways.
correct. However,
That's not a big selling feature.
if we get a ½ inch of snow or even a freeze warning, if we get a freeze warning, the schools are closing down, businesses are opening up late. I mean, it's a thing. So if it's other than sunny out, people don't get out of the house here. It just doesn't happen. And at least that's what I've always been told.
Then it's a production day.
I think you're doing great myself. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
are.
very
Definitely
impressed.
you are.
Brad has challenged me.
I think Brad's kind of challenged himself too. Sounds like he
Well,
might go upgrade to a
that-
few flavored honeys himself.
This is kind of what's happening. Is if I gonna kick Bob in the butt, I have to kick myself in the butt too. So it's helping
That
me
was
as well.
kind of, when I was watching your video on Saturday morning, I'm going, I think Brad just kicked himself in his own butt.
Well, we've got
My door challenge.
he's challenged me and we haven't defined this. I guess it's every day for the whole month, averaging $200 a day. We didn't really say that it was
in general. Like,
yeah.
if you want to take the last 30 days or what, that's fine.
Yeah, we didn't really say only the days that I'm out there. It's just $200 a day for the month, and it's a.
So what's a cold day? You're in the 30s or 50s or what?
When I got up this morning, it was in the 30s, and then it got to the 40s, but it was like not foggy outside and overcast.
I was
And-
in the hives
I'll
all
clarify the challenge, Bob. It's not an average for the days you're out there, because
It's
that
for
doesn't
the whole
work.
month.
Because that
Okay.
means, if I don't go out there, it doesn't affect my average.
Well,
It's
today was
you
the
can
fourth
choose.
day
It
of the
can
month.
be calendar month, or it could be 5-day week. It's up to you.
Today's the 4th day of the month, and I've only sold 2 days. I've only been outside 2 days. One day somebody came up and bought a $30 jar of honey.
It's because you wouldn't open the door New Year's Day. You could have had sales every day this year.
And you didn't open the door up on Christmas Day.
I was out on New Year's Day.
You lost.
That's what I meant. Christmas
Day.
Christmas
what
Day.
Day was it that people were knocking on your door?
On Christmas Day, yep.
If they got money in their hand, I'm opening the damn door up.
So far,
I don't care what day it is.
So far for the month of January, today being the 4th, I'm averaging $282 a day. So obviously it'll do this, but
yeah, but now let's think about that. Let's say $280 a day. Are you making that in other jobs you've been at?
No.
It's not profit.
Oh, I know.
It's not all profit, right? We know that. We're talking gross sales here, right?
That's gross sales.
So, but that includes the days that I wasn't out there. That's
if you took about half of that and said that's your profit, you'd probably be fairly close.
Right. So
because you got to pay your taxes out of that too.
Yeah.
Right.
That'll happen.
So I'll take half of it right there.
Don't hold your breath on that one. No, yeah, I understand. But it's just that it's somebody holding me accountable, right? And Brad said it yesterday. He said we'll be chatting, I'll be on the computer and he'll say something. And I won't even really acknowledge that he said it, but the next day it's
like
there.
He doesn't listen to me.
and then what happens?
He's doing it.
Yep. So it's just one of those things that I'm not afraid to try something different or try a new product, right? Cut comb honey. I buy that cut comb honey. I don't make that much profit on it. I didn't know if it would sell. I've almost sold the whole case already. So it's like, pollen. Nobody.
Can you buy half cases of that?
No, you got to buy it. 12 is a case.
No, it's too bad because it's something that doesn't overly sell, and it costs you.
Well, I know one thing. When I didn't have it, I sold 0. I sold 100% of what I didn't have.
That is a valid point. But you know what I'm saying is you're building up.
Good night, Carl.
Good night, Carl.
I wish but right now I'm still working off the smaller, more frequently thing, right? I don't have the capital to grow it like that, but as things grow, maybe I will at some point.
Dude, it does 3 weeks. You've been at it 3 weeks. That's going to all come pretty fast.
Yeah, it is. It is doing quite well. I mean, I can't complain. Now, will it stay that way? Don't know. But I do know this. Everybody that only has 2 or 3 hives is totally sold out of honey.
That's right.
Once I get them, they're not going back. Well, because you know what? They can go to my neighbor and say, oh, yeah, I'm going to get some honey. They can't get flavored creamed honey. They can't get the barbecue sauce. They can't get the ward butter, Yeah.
So, yeah.
Brad, I'd like to let you know I got to see my bees today.
You did?
I went around and put sugar in the rapid rounds and looked down and saw them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I could have gone in the shed, but I didn't.
Well, yeah, that's not fair. I actually had to
go
through the snow and pull all the covers off.
How
cold? Good.
What was?
There's only maybe half a dozen out of the 30 that I put sugar on that I didn't see, but there was signs of, if they're not dead center underneath the plug, you can't tell.
Yeah, and
but you give it a little blow down there and with your breath, and you hear the bzzz.
Yeah,
and good enough.
Nice.
There's only a few that were really up top. You can see 1 or 2 running around in there. So
nice.
It was good. It felt good. I didn't get stung, which kind of disappointed me.
I can't wait till the first time I can crack a lid, see what's in there. Because I mean, this is all I see right now, right? Just 30 below and boxes and a bunch of snow.
Well, they look good there as far as I'm concerned.
Those, I really like the way those look.
Yeah.
And it snowed a little bit since then too. So they're going to be covered here in another month.
That's always a beautiful sign
That's
as far as I'm
perfect.
concerned.
Yep.
Uncle Junior, he can't sell even in his front yard. Well, you're up in New Jersey. Just pay the mob off. It's fine.
I think I'm going to try my creamer finally, Bob, after having it for over a year. When I come back from the
Now you
expo.
plug it in, it won't work. It'll be out of warranty.
It doesn't matter. I got another one coming. I'm getting
Got
two.
another one. And then you send that one back saying, "Hey, this one came broke."
You gotta do it.
Use
Go
the
big
creamer,
or
you
go
buy a second
small.
one.
A backup to the backup.
I bought almost 90 candle molds in the last 3 months.
Holy smokes.
Oh, I just got another 34 in, Brad, for Easter and Valentine's Day.
You got another 34 candle molds?
Yeah, didn't I send you the video clip of them all? I poured them all without wicks, so I know where to put the wicks.
That's
Oh, that's interesting.
you're more dedicated than me.
Well, some of them are, like double teddy bears, and they're gonna actually have 2 wicks. Some are like angels, and you gotta know where to put the wick in. So I poured like 28 of them one night. And I pulled them out and put them in front of their thing, and now I can go around and I'll weigh the candle right on the mold, so I know how much wax it takes. Pinpoint where the wick goes in, and they're the white Chinese ones, so
Mhm.
you got to actually use like a marker because you can't see where the needle went in the time
But aren't
before.
those nice? You can just peel them back and they pop right out.
I
Yeah,
like that.
some are nice, but some of my other ones, the real molds that they work good too.
So, Mike, when are you heading up the Nobby?
We're leaving Tuesday.
Charlie, when are you leaving? Tuesday as well?
Tuesday.
We'll get there Wednesday sometime in the morning.
You getting your molds from Amazon or are you getting them from somewhere else?
Most of them I'm getting from Amazon. I've got one I'm getting from Bob Benny. It's the 10.5-inch candlesticks that make 8, which is probably a Man Lake thing because he's a Man Lake dealer. But he had 15% off, so it's usually $120, and I got it for just under $100. And then I'll go to, I think it's Be-Lite that does the candles. I bought a lot of stuff from last year.
Right.
I'm going to get some.
Do you sell a lot of candles, Mike?
What's that?
You sell a lot of candles?
No, I just started making them. I got about 200 made.
I know, but I mean, I don't know. I mean,
he's a candle collector right now.
I sold probably about a dozen. People that came over and picked up honey, and I showed them it, and didn't even know what they were worth. I just sold them.
I mean, you don't go out to fairs or functions or anything.
Oh no, I don't have time for that. But I have an art studio where I sell my honey, and she'll sell my candles. And I just got my honey in a hardware store, and they'll sell them too, as long as they can make 30%.
30%.
Yep, I said I'm okay with that.
That's pretty standard. 25 to 30.
Yeah.
Well, the little Hispanic guy got 20%. That's what I gave him. So
we raise it up to 12 and then cut that back to 10.
He can sell it for more though.
He's driving 45 miles each way to get my honey and saving me fuel.
Hey.
Wow.
Yeah, but are you making?
He wants to put it in the market himself. Sell it with no labels. Then you don't have to worry about it. Tell him to print his own labels.
Yeah.
Print him up some Hispanic labels, put on it. But it's fun, man. I'm having a good time with it. It's tiring,
Nice to hear.
It's if I did markets like Brian does, I know he spends a lot of time during the week prepping that up for the weekend markets, right? But because I'm doing it every day right now, that's kind of where the challenge is, just the extra time to make sure.
The thing is that market cost him to go there. And then insurance to go to that market too, because they'll ask him for his insurance, and then he has to have you got a tent, so he's got a tent too.
Here they say you got to have I think it's a peddler's license or something like that.
I don't know.
The city wanted like $300 for. I was like, no.
Do you have flea markets at all?
I do have a flea market here.
They usually charge like $20-25 for a table.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
That might be something to try, Bob.
They also have, one of the flea markets actually has booths that you never have to move your stuff off of, right?
Yeah, but that costs you.
Yeah, I don't know how much it costs a month, and they're only open like, 8 days a month or something on the weekends.
You're better off doing what you're doing right now, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I mean,
Oh yeah.
but if things keep going good, who knows? Maybe one of us stay in the front yard and one of us goes to the market, and then we're selling in both places.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but someone's got to take care of the bees.
Somebody's got to do the bottling.
Bottling is easy.
Your yard should look immaculate this year if you're out there and have new customers.
If I get more bees, then I can pick all the crap up and put it together as beehives. Then it'll look great.
You want to get some nice ones though, because you don't want your customers getting pelted.
Oh yeah, I think it's just the pressure they have on them from the hive beetles and everything else that they're constantly struggling with. That's part of it.
I think you ought to take a lesson after Bob Benny.
Have Amy sell the honey while I'm working bees. Yeah, at this point, I mean,
just take and get a barrel, come in.
I don't have any way to pump the honey out of the barrel or any of that right now.
I get that part.
He does like 40, what did he say, 40 or 46 barrels a week.
Oh, Bob?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's also
he says on the average it was something like that. He said, but we had a week not too long ago before Christmas. We went through 60 barrels.
Yeah, that was in 1 week.
In 1 week.
Yeah, but he's also bottling it up to send it out to Walmart.
He's in Walmart.
Kroger's.
Yeah.
All over the place, right?
We had that. Yeah.
It's not hard to go through a bunch of honey when.
What I'm getting at is you got those bees in the backyard. Yeah, I'm getting all my honey over there. Just keep going, getting buckets.
Yeah, that's it. Just keep
visiting with Bob last year when he was up. We were just having a casual evening visiting, and he was asking me about my business and how I did things and what I was doing. And so I talked for a while about it, and then after a while he just kind of leaned over toward me and he said, "It sounds to me like you need to start to buy some honey." And I said, "Well, maybe you're right."
Yeah, but in your case, it's hard because you are very proud of the product you put out and how you put it out. Even when it comes to your cut comb, that you want it done a certain way. You do not want to buy the cut comb wax.
Well, if I bought anything, it would be highly scrutinized. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, but that's how you. I know that's how you feel. I want the bees to make it, period. Which I get it, which makes it 10 times harder because they do what they want.
Yeah.
There's definitely a spot in beekeeping where you have to make decisions like that, right? It's like, am I doing this for only the bees, or am I doing this like in Brad's case and now my case? It's what we do. That's it, right? Is beekeep and sell honey. Brad's been doing it quite a bit longer than I have, but at some point, bad years, right? Like you said, you had a 1,200, how many? 2,800 pounds and then a 700-pound year?
Yeah.
No, Mike. So,
Mike. Yeah, when
you build up your clientele, like
production hives,
like Brad's in stores and stuff, right? At what point do you have to say to yourself, I've got customers I've got to take care of, and my bees, for whatever reason, aren't going to produce enough to make that happen, right? So at some point, you got to say, either I sell less.
Yeah, you just got to decide.
you got to decide what you're doing, right? So
Yeah.
Well, you take those buckets. All right. Next year you produce, let's say, 1,000 pounds of your regular honey.
yeah, the buckets will be creamed. This year, kind of late in the year to be switching up when you don't
Yeah,
have.
I mean, we're not talking. I mean, yeah, I get that, but it's. I mean, out of all the buckets you've bought so far, would you say 2/3 of them was creamed?
No, I had a bunch of honey in my creamer already, but
I mean,
good
you keep
3 or
making-
4 gallons. Yeah, I always pinch off some of the bucket and pour it into the.
Yeah, but I mean, what I'm getting at is that you bought X amount of buckets here by 3 buckets. All right, was that 3 buckets for running honey, or was that 2 buckets for creamed honey and 1 bucket for running honey?
Pretty much runny. All of it was runny honey because except for like 2 gallons, because over this past several years, I've had, remember, my whole refrigerator was full of jars of creamed honey. I'm down to like 4 flats, like 2 cases of jars.
Look at all the space you've required.
Yeah, I know. Now it's like, holy crap! It's just going through it so quick that that I'm having, now, like I said, and here's a strawberry and a lemon and a blueberry going to Florida. So it's like things are just starting to click. And it makes sense, right? Because this is now year 7 that I'm going into. So it's been 6 full years. So they usually say businesses start to kind of do things after about 5 years, right? So that would fall right in line, except for Brad.
No. Difference here, Bob, is you were
Part-timing
riding. What's that?
I was part-timing it.
You were part-timing it. You were riding the day job, so you didn't have the fear of your business not making it. Right. You didn't have the time because you were working the day job, but you also didn't have the singular focus that this is what's going to happen.
Right.
Because I think my business, I think it was about 4 years before it really started to come into what it is now. 4 or 5 years. And then it just ran itself. Like I'm a slave to it now. It just does its thing, right?
But it's nice when you're sitting there and all of a sudden, oh, I got an order. That's
phone rings. Like today. It's been pretty quiet lately, but phone rang today, which is really nice.
Once you get a pallet order?
Oh no, box. No, just one of my little stores. He buys 2 boxes a year. But it was nice to hear from him.
I just got a nice email. Square just sent me a payment to my bank.
Yay. I love those.
Everything from today just got put in. So that's an fun.
I don't count on my bees for income. If 1 year I lost $70,000 of pay because I spent too much time with my bees.
I see. Yeah.
I don't see myself ever making what I can make in the field.
Yeah.
Do any of you guys make sourwood honey? I don't. Here.
There's no sourwood tree.
I had sourwood honey on my pancake, my French toast this morning. Bob Benny's.
Yeah, Bob Benny.
Yeah. So does it taste any better than any other honey? I mean,
I gotta tell you, I like my honey 10 times better than sourwood. I think sourwood's lame.
I bought some when I was down south, and then of course Benny says sometimes they call it sourwood, but it isn't really sourwood. And I'm like, all right, I'll go to that honey bar next week and see what this stuff's supposed to taste like.
Your honey's better than the sourwood, as far as I'm concerned, Charlie.
Well, the main thing about honey, I've come up to the conclusion is it depends if the honey that you're used to tasting in from your area is what you like.
Right.
That's right.
And that's it. Yes, everybody has different types of honey, but what James has out there in Alberta. He loves that honey out there. Well, you know, it tastes different than my honey, and then mine tastes different than Bob's probably, and depends on what the floral
Yeah,
source
like
is.
I said, I like yours better than the sourwood.
See, even Todd likes mine better. I mean, when it comes to if you can get as close to pure locust honey, that's what most of mine is. If the weather is correct with it, you know, about washing the bloom out, it's about as sweet as honey. If you like really sweet honey, it's like almost like cotton candy.
But
If
Todd,
I have time
if I
tomorrow,
can
I'm
have,
gonna bottle. I got a bucket from Troy Hall last year of knotweed honey.
I want to get Todd to mention, if he's honest, which honey is the best honey. So we'll just wait for him to reply to that.
He's setting them up.
I'm gonna bring Todd some honey.
It's light honey and a little lemony. But it's
That's Uncle Junior. I don't know what he's up in New Jersey.
I think sourwood honey has to be, isn't it at a certain elevation?
Yeah, it's up in the mountains.
Yeah, but
Carolina.
Bob knows. Bob knows, you know, because he only bottle it if it's real sourwood.
He's a sommelier. Oh, he got silent. Todd got silent on that. He hasn't answered.
Yep. He's afraid to say. That's okay if you don't want to say, Todd. It's okay.
I just had someone that's going to Nobby send me an email about swarm lure. If I was going there, could I bring him some? And
What is it? I've got an extra bottle I could bring.
well, he buys it white labeled.
Oh,
So
it's
he
white
buy-
labeled.
He buys it with no label, and he puts his label on it.
Oh,
So
Sourwood is not all that great. It sounds like to me that a lot of folks are not all
even
that.
Bob. I don't think Bob likes the sourwood as bet. He's got other honey he likes better.
Well, he
Uh-huh.
tasted my honey, so, you know, sourwood had to take a back seat.
I don't doubt that.
I don't know. I had a bottle here. I bought
Might be worth me driving up next year just to try yours.
It might be.
I'll try to come during your honey flow so I can work my ass off for you.
Yeah, come late August, we'll have some fun pulling honey.
The hives will look small if you and I are on either side of them.
Yeah, well, I'll have to go down, take you down to Ian's if you want to see tall hives.
Yeah, that's phenomenal.
but I think he's in South Carolina, so it might be something that I can just run up to him before he leaves, right? If he's an hour away.
Who's that?
Can't tell you.
Can't tell you.
I don't, because it's a white labeled product and it's got their name on it. I don't want to say their brand, because then if I do, you'd be like, well, why would I buy that?
I didn't know what you were talking about, period.
So the beauty is it costs them the same whether it's unlabeled or labeled. So I actually make a little bit more money
Because you don't have to pay for a sticker.
because I don't have to pay for the sticker, right?
Are you going to make more of the, what is it, Honey Rustler?
The honey rustler. I might, if I get some orders for it, I can make some more
I
up.
didn't get a chance to try it this year, but I tell you, when that bottle fell and smashed on my floor, my house smelled delicious. I kept walking through and go, what is that smell? And then I found it, and the cap, when it fell, the cap broke.
Somebody was selling a bucket of sourwood honey at Hive Life for $500 a bucket. Holy crap!
Yeah, you can have it.
So the question about what makes Canadian honey so good, I don't know if it makes it any better than any other, but typically honey in Canada is lighter honey than what I see a lot of places, and I know there's light honeys other places, but typically it's lighter. And one of the things that surprised me when I started talking to all of you folks down south is that uh, our honey comes from plants, not trees. We don't have a lot of trees that produce honey here.
Oh, I gotcha.
It's all, the tallest plant is maybe sweet clover that's 3 feet tall. So that's kind of different.
Yeah, but your honey is yellow clover honey versus Ian's is canola. So there's a difference there.
Yeah, mine's a little more of a wildflower. It's got a lot of different things in it, but what it doesn't have in it is canola. So it's not necessarily one thing, and that's what I like, because it's a little different every year. But what it isn't is canola. There's no canola fields here.
Well, isn't it the
typically.
majority of the honeys in where you all live at is canola?
Oh yeah, canola is a very, very big crop in this part of the world.
Right.
So the vast majority of the honey produced out here is canola honey, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that it's an everyday honey, really. Right? It makes a beautiful cream texture honey. It's beautiful. But
well, that's like Doug and
when
them.
I sell honey, I sell it as something different, right? I sell it as a different kind of a honey, and people taste that, and that's what draws them to, makes them loyal customers.
Yeah, you got a unique tasting honey.
Yeah, and they can taste. Anybody has a discerning palate at all can tell the difference between canola honey and what I'm selling, a lack of canola honey, and they really like that. And I guess if they don't like it, I don't see them. So
The year I got 2,800 pounds, I separated every one of my apiaries, and there was a definite different taste. Even some that were 2-3 miles apart.
there is my
It's
2
just
yards
amazing.
here are 3 miles apart, and you can see the difference in the honey.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
sometimes
then you'll look at one that's like water white, and right in the
Yep.
middle there's a reddish honey right in the. Something else came in that particular day.
Well, that's like Tom and Melissa. Melissa will sit there, and she had this, like you say, water white looking honey. And I'm like, man, that is a beautiful honey. And they go through frame by frame. Is it white looking frame? Is it a darker looking frame?
Yeah, they separate all their frames.
And they do everything frame by frame by frame. I'm like, really? And then they do all the light first, and then they go as it gets darker. And that's how they can get that.
sweet clover, yellow sweet clover is a very water white kind of a honey. I've had jars of that here, and it just looks like a jar of water, and it doesn't crystallize.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
I had some that year almost had a citrus aftertaste. And
Yeah.
they were talking, they said, I can taste oranges. I said, well, it's from the orange fields of Milford.
Mm-hmm.
Says, we don't have oranges. I said, I had to go with something.
And
And some of them tasted like, and some of the ads had an after flavor of a berry. It was really interesting.
Yeah. I've tasted that. I've tasted some of my honey right out of the extractor, and you can just taste the flowers. It's really quite delicious.
John there, he's out there in Colorado. He's out there like with Brian. He's got that more of a desert climate. You don't have no trees out there.
Up at my camp in Vermont near the Canadian border, we got the wild blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, all the wild flowers. Wild Canadian plums, wild tall cranberry bushes. There's just so many different things. Wild apple trees everywhere. And when I had my bees up there, everybody had a good apple crop.
Trying to had a customer since 2023 on Swarm Lure, and I can't find his address because I'm trying to. If he's not leaving till Tuesday, I could run up there tomorrow and drop him off what he needs. If it's
Ship
an
it.
hour. Yeah.
How much money are you going to not make at your table tomorrow while you're driving down the road burning fuel?
True. That is true.
Ship it.
Oh my God!
But he's got to get it before he goes to
That's-
Nobby. That's kind of the
Is he
stick.
selling it there?
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
Well, logistics sometimes dictate spending some money then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you should have thought about this a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Sunday
could-
before it's
Bunch of stuff in the mail that way. Well,
Yeah.
guys, 11 o'clock. I'm thinking I'm going to head out.
Yeah, it's probably about that time. I appreciate everybody. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, please hit the thumbs up on the way out, and we appreciate you. And I will see you guys Tuesday night at 8 p.m. I guess these two fellows at the bottom of the screen will be making a road trip, so maybe they'll listen in while they're driving.
Sucks
And-
to be them. They won't be here.
I'll hopefully be in Kentucky by that time.
You'll be in Kentucky by that time? Well, you'll be in the room then. Take your laptop. Maybe you can join us.
Yeah, I thought about that. Either
And
that
I hope you guys.
I'll be listening to you on the road.
I hope you guys have a great
or
time.
I'll come on my phone, use my phone, I guess.
I hope
Yeah.
everybody has a good time.
Yeah, I think we
It'll be
will.
fun. Anyway,
I will.
guys, you have a good night, and we will
Good night,
see you
everyone.
on the next live stream. Appreciate you
Good night,
all.
everybody.
Thanks,
night.
Thanks, Bob.